Guys, welcome to my channel, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for giving me 48 subscribers. I don't know who are my new subscribers, but I just want to say thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. I really can't believe that I have made it this far. So today's video, we are going to be talking about Basadja's history, and we're going to give a breakdown of the country's history, what country represents, basically everything that I have previously done with my other country's history videos. So let's get into the video. Okay guys, so we're going to learn about Basadja's origin. So Basadja, also before we get into Basadja's origin, Basadja, if you're wondering, represents the United Kingdom in my universe. And the reason why I made them represent the United Kingdom because I think they're cool. They were cool during history, and also I just want to say I would like to pay respects to the Queen, who recently passed away, and want to thank her for her leadership. Which I even though that I'm an American, and we never have been in London. But still, she was a great leader, and she was a fantastic person to her people. So therefore, I am paying tribute to her by playing little bits of the song "God Save the Queen," which you are hearing on most of my cut-ins, and it was just a sign as respect and tribute. Now, I may get a copyright claim after this, but still, it was just to make it feel cooler and also to pay homage to the Queen. Now, Basadja wasn't known until June 1st, 2021, when they were at war with another nation called Berlin. Berlin and Berlin and Basadja were at war with each other. And on June 2nd, Basadja sent 2 missionary forces to go look for help around the country to help aid their men during the war. And they bump into Kandahar. Kandahar comes to their aid, and the Kaberlans saw that the military power Kandahar had, along with the help of Basadjan troops, and decided to surrender, and they remained at peace between Kaberlan and Basadja. And Kaberlan now is known as an African country called Egypt, and we're going to learn about that soon. So, anyway, the first leader of the country was King Sada. He was the ruler and the main leader of the country, of course. Basadja was the first Tenyo country to be a monarchy in the plastic world and country of Tenyo. But let me tell you something, guys. There's actually 3 different monarch nations. Tyrannia is one, but they're not fully monarch where sometimes before Tsar Kiev became king or became the Tsar, he was a general, and the Tsars before him were elected based on military performance and strategy and experience, because they were considered as leaders for their people during the time. But since Tsar Kiev is married to Anna Romanov, which she's a rich, her family is rich, and her the wealth makes them more like royalty. So they married, and that's how Tsar Kiev became a Tsar and a royal Tsar. And also he has an heir to his throne, so that if he gets overthrown, then his son will be the new Tsar. And anyway, that's for those who were wondering how does the Tsar work. Tasmania is another monarch nation, and they were having the tradition of emperor, and like the Tynarians, the emperor was elected through military rank and experience during their wars, and to see if they were great leaders or terrible ones. And the ones that are terrible would be still soldiers, but they would be elected as generals, while the person who they think will be a great leader will be the new emperor. And Basadja was the first monarch nation to actually have a king and an heir to their throne, as we're going to learn in over the years. So I will talk to you more about that in the next. So now we're at Basadja over the years. After the end of the rival wars, they remained isolated from other conflicts. But during the Equality War, they were being invaded by the communist forces and began to defend their country, but they were captured, and in the end of the war, they were let go. So basically, Basadja also had issues with them being conquered before and being held until after the war, and then they were free from oppression from the communist forces. Then, during the communist invasion, they did their best to defend their country from being invaded again, but as always, they were then invaded and was under oppression again until it was over, which it did shortly, because basically the communist invasion resulted was a. If you guys want me to break down the communist invasion, let me know, and I'll explain more about that. But the communist invasion was basically all communist nations in Tenyo were invading other monarch nations and democratic nations for power and to overthrow them. But that resulted in failure because the main leader who was in charge of the invasion was overthrown, as I'm going to put it for safety reasons. King Sada also had made a deal with the Ethiopians for the military protection of their country and industrialization for Basadja. So this is, and basically, if you're wondering why did King Sada make a deal with the Ethiopians, well, that's because King Sada during this time period wanted to have a military want to have an empire, so he started to go with Ethiopia, since Ethiopia knows that they will be loyal to King Sada, and they both made a deal where Basadja would provide military protection, while the Ethiopians provide materials and supplies to Basadja to trade with other nations. And this is how the beginning of the empire started. On February 14th, 2022, the king of Basadja and leader, which was King Sada, was killed, and later resulted his son Harold Sada to take the throne, which also made Harold declare war on the new country Basadja, since they were the ones responsible, and later resulted a civil war, which was known as the Tenyo Civil War. And this was the first civil war in Tenyo in history. After the Civil War, Harold wanted to expand and spread imperialism throughout the world. So he sent one of his admirals to look for land to make colonies and make their economy greater than it was before. And the reason why he's actually doing this is because his father wanted to create an empire, and since Harold sees that his father was trying to build an empire, and since he was gone, he was going to help his dad, even though he has passed away, to build his empire for him while he is ruler. While he's leader. Sorry guys, I had to cover my mouth because I'm not going to get too details, but I just need to cover my mouth. Anyway, after the Civil War, Harold wanted to expand imperialism. On March 13th, 2022, land was found by the fleet and immediately began to infiltrate the country until they were attacked by the natives of the country, which would later result in a war known as the Native Wars. From March 13th, 2022 to March 18th, 2022. And speaking of which, I know you guys voted for the Native Wars, and that video will come out on Friday. So I'm going to be in the middle of working on it, and then on Friday, it's when it will be posted. I'll let you, and it may be a long video. I may have to put it in two parts, or I could try to shorten everything together to one video so that you can guys watch it, because last time I tried to upload it and edit it, it took about 20 minutes and it couldn't load 20 minutes because it would take forever. So I'm going to have to find a way to make sure that it stays short. Anyway, in the end of the Native Wars, colonization for the country began, and the country was named Pacifica. A week later, their colonies in Ethiopia were being under attack by great forces, and later resulted in them fighting in the war known as the Ethiopian War. And also, guys, if you were wondering, how did Basadja become an empire first? Well, first he made deals with Ethiopia, but then Ethiopia was also allies with Greentopia, and Letopia were allies first. And then when Australia came along, Basadja took ownership of Australia, and that's how. And then when the native wars start, then they became his allies slash supply countries, supply colonial countries, and they became good friends. And that's how Harold achieved his father's dream of building an empire. Anyway, a week later, their colonies in the Letopia were under attack by great forces, and later resulted in them fighting a war known as the Letopian War. And the Letopian War, I'll discuss that in another video after the native wars, and once I get that project done, maybe I can discuss about that. But I'm, of course, we're going to put a post at the end of this video for you guys to pick the next topic after I do the native wars. So here we go. After their final war, they remained in peace and have been monitoring their empire until the Melandustian War happened. The Basadjan forces were on the offensive during the beginning of the war, but it resulted with them losing heavy amounts of casualties. Then when the Greenlandians came to their aid, they continued to go offensive to the end of the war. After their victory during the Melandustian War, Basadja remained isolated for the next 6 months, until September 28, 2022, when the leader of Tainarana declared invasion on Goland and Ukraine, which was also known as the First Imperial War. Basadja was brought back in another war because Basadja wanted to defend its country from the Tainaranian forces, along with aiding Goland and Ukraine during the invasion. The war lasted until October 7th, and it resulted with Basadja and its allies achieving victory, and Basadja remaining neutral to this day, but does not mean that he may go to a war. So basically, he's neutral, and he will still be neutral until he is needed or when he feels like he needs to be involved. And I'll tune you in, guys, for the announcements. Okay, guys, so we have reached the finale of this video. I want to say thank you guys for giving me 48 subscribers. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for who were here before and during now for my channel. And if we make it to 50 subscribers within the next couple weeks or days even, I will be making a celebration video for my channel. Also, the Native Wars, like I said earlier, will be posted on Friday. And depending on how much I record or how much I edit and record, it might have to be split into 2 videos, depending on the time limit, because, you know, I have to keep my videos from 13 to 12 or 15 to 16 minutes because of my channel feed not being great. Because if I had more views on YouTube, then I would be making longer videos, but I know how much you guys hate long videos, so I'm going to keep it short. But I really appreciate you guys giving me this amount of subscribers and these views. Keep up with the likes and the subscribing. Please share these videos with your friends and family. But if they're not interested, then that's okay. But if we could get this video to 50 subscribers within the next 2 days or weeks, I will be doing a celebration video for my channel as a great thank you to all of you. And if we keep going on this road and get me to 100, then I'll be great. And that would be really great for me and my channel and for the future. So, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos, giving me support, especially to subscriber Wade out there. Thank you for your positive commentary and also your curiosity in my videos, because you seem to be liking that a lot. Anyway, I will see you guys on Friday, and stay tuned for the Native Wars, and also stay tuned for that post, because I'm going to be posting a post. And like I said, and as always, the post with the most votes will be the new topic and chapter after I do the Native Wars. So be on the lookout for that, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.